My slides will be appearing right now. Excellent. All right, so what I want to talk about is the DeFi Superapp. How many people here have used Jupiter? Can I see it? Please show of hands. Is that like literally everybody? All right, how many people have used it in the last like 3 days? Almost everybody. A crowd of DJs. This is my crowd. That's good to see. A lot of people kind of know us primarily as a tech tagger. And what I want to do now for the next 14 minutes and 45 seconds is tell you about what the future of Jupiter is going to be, right? Because the future of Jupiter is not going to look like the past. Really, what our aim is going to be going forward is building the DeFi super app. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Crypto is growing up, right? This is, I get roasted when I say this, but like we are no longer early, right? There's like 650 million crypto holders around the world. Equities have like 800 million, right? So we're pretty close over there. It's a multi-trillion-dollar asset class, which means the type of businesses and projects that are successful are also going to change. And thankfully, we have a roadmap for this from other industries already. In every major industry, what market leaders tend to do is horizontal expansion, right? This is just a pattern that you see in healthcare. People start as kind of small hospitals and they integrate large hospitals, primary care, pharmaceuticals, et cetera, insurance and so on. You saw this in tech, right? Google started with search, but they also now do email and video and so many other things. And you see this in finance traditionally as well, right? You start with kind of basic customer accounts and all of a sudden then you're doing lending and derivatives and all that other kind of good stuff. This is a classic pattern that you see happen time and time again in more mature industries. And the reason is this kind of expansion creates more value for all of you, for the users, right? For one thing, it's just way easier. It is a massive pain to try to find new apps and things like that across crypto right now, right? So this discovery problem already exists and can be solved if one company that you already know and trust is doing multiple things. It adds more simplicity. So it's a one-stop shop for all your crypto needs rather than having to go all around the world. And of course, it builds up more trust over time. So Jupiter is building the DeFi super app. We want you to be able to do anything that you'd want to do in DeFi in one place on Jupiter, as you know and love. And we're doing this for kind of 3 core audiences. The first one is for new users. I'm about to show a slide that has a bunch of things that we do for new users. I'm not sure how obvious this is to folks. This maybe is alpha for you if you don't already know. Jupiter is the best entry point to Solana. Full stop, period. Anything that you would want to do to come on-chain to Solana, you can do with Jupiter. So we have an inbuilt on-ramp powered by some of our partners here. We can go directly from Turkish lira to Sol or ideally Jupe or whatever else you might want, right? If you are on another ecosystem, you can come over using our bridging tech, which is, again, powered by dBridge and some other partners. If you don't really know what a wallet is, and you're like, oh, this private key stuff is kind of nonsensical to me, don't worry, you can create an account with just an email or with your Twitter or with your Discord and start trading within Jupiter. And then, of course, we have the best invite flow anywhere where you can send funds and bring people on chain, right? These are all the things that we do to make it easier to access Solana. And you can do this, again, all through Jupiter. Has anyone here used quick accounts yet, by the way? Keep the cameras on me. Every single person raised their hand. Wow, that's very exciting, good to know. For anyone who hasn't tried it yet, quick accounts are fantastic. They turn Jupiter into this kind of really natural and easy to use experience, particularly if you're new to crypto. So definitely encourage people to check that out. Those are all the things we're doing on the new user side, right? After that, we of course have our core users, which is a lot of people in this audience who have been in crypto for a little while, understand some of the value, and like to trade. Here we do some things that are, I think, pretty well understood. Liquidity aggregation, all liquidity, not just on-chain, not just in all the, 50 AMMs that we have integrated, but also off-chain, right? Because we aggregate more than 18, I believe it is, market makers right now, and get that off-chain liquidity as well so that you can get the best price and the best execution. On top of that, we have, of course, spot trading, which is, I think, what everyone here uses, whether that's regular spot trading or limit orders, recurring orders, et cetera, all in one place. And then Jupiter Mobile. How many of you actually have Jupiter Mobile? Can I see? All right, good. That's nice. It's a little bit more than half. I'd like to see that. Jupiter Mobile is awesome. It is the only wallet where you can see not just your token holdings, but also all of your other DeFi portfolio in one place. And mobile, quite honestly, is the future. Where we're trying to get to for actual core crypto users is this idea of you just using Jupiter. You want to do something, just use Jupiter. It's going to be the easiest and best way to do it. And then finally, we have this whole service of offerings for power users, right, that I think is, again, underappreciated sometimes. We just launched Jupiter Pro, which is absolutely killer. All due respect to my friends who have
Telegram trading bots and whatever else, but Jupiter Pro is all you need, and it's 10x cheaper, which is pretty great. Leverage trading with Jupiter Perps, and then portfolio monitoring. I think Jupiter Portfolio is great. I know I'm here. The Step logo is right there. Step is also great. Jupiter Portfolio, also great. The basic idea with all of this, though, is we want to be able to support you as you grow within Solana. So you get onboarded, you on-ramp, you get invited, whatever else it might is, you start to trade a few tokens, then you want to get deeper into the trenches, then you might want to trade with leverage, then you might want to explore DeFi. All of that can happen within one single interface. And one of the beautiful things about this as a business model is it allows us to be so much cheaper because we have multiple areas where we can kind of add value and capture some of that value as well. So pro trading, for example, we take 10 bips, that's 0.1%. Everyone else takes 1%. So we are 10 times cheaper because we don't only need to rely on this single vertical to power the whole business. So you get better rates and a better experience, and we get to serve you across many different dimensions. In a nutshell, what we're trying to do with this kind of super app thesis is identify as many daily habits as we can. There's a guy named, what's his name, Larry Page, who's the co-founder of Google, who has this idea called the toothbrush test. And he says all the best businesses in the world pass the toothbrush test. How many people here brush their teeth every day? Not enough hands went up on that one, let me just say. That's a little bit surprising, but most people tend to brush their teeth every day, right? You want to have good businesses and good projects are in that same category, where you want to use them every day 1 or 2 times, maybe even 3 times, ideally, right? Obviously, token swaps is one key part of that. Many people who are in crypto swap every day. I know I do. But maybe you don't. You don't trade as often. But you probably check your DeFi portfolio every day. You probably check in on like DCA if you want to make that a daily habit. You probably want to look on your phone and see what kind of notifications you have with smart alerts powered by Dialect, right? So the more daily habits that we can build into the super app, the more likely you are to use it. And the more likely you are to use it, the more value it creates, the more users we have, which then generates more revenue, and then that allows us to make more investments in making the user experience better. This is how we've been able to acquire teams like Ultimate Wallet and Drip and Moonshot and Sonar Watch and many, many others, right? All in all, when you have more investments, you get more services, which gives us more chances to become part of your daily routine. Jupiter is really the only app in crypto that allows you to do this, right? There are not many other apps where you can realistically say, every day I have a reason to use XYZ. But Jupiter does, because we're building the super app, right? This is like the kind of super app in a nutshell, and this is what's going to power Jupiter to the next level. I will say, this I think is broadly misunderstood and deeply underappreciated by the market, but I think over time these kind of things become clearer to people that, oh yeah, I'm checking Jupiter every single day, and so are all my friends. That probably means that this is a good business to get involved in. It is anchored by 3 critical things, though, right? Because building super apps, it's nice to say, but not everybody can do it. The only reason that Jupiter can actually do it is we have a few competitive advantages, let's say. The first one is we do have the best products. I am obviously biased. I work at Jupiter, but you don't have to take it from me. You can take it from the market as well. You can see some of our metrics here. They're just ridiculous, let's be honest, right? More than $2 trillion in total volume through Jupiter products, right? $2.3 billion locked in Jupiter. We don't even have a borrow lend market, and that's how much we have locked, right? Through JLP and JupSol. And then we have more than $500 million have been earned by our partners using our APIs and integrations, right? For the record, we have made far less than $500 million. So we are a true platform in that sense, where the partners building on top of us are actually earning even more than we are. And that is good and right. That is what we talk about when we talk about growing the pie. Why do so many people integrate Jupiter? Why do they earn so much money when they integrate Jupiter? Because Jupiter makes the best products, right? The market has kind of seen this time and time again. If you don't have great products, it doesn't matter how many new services and features you have. You have to have that quality bar where you're adding value first. But that's not enough, right? The best products is an important piece of it. It is not the only piece. The second piece is the community. Do we have any Jupe stakers in this room right now? Yes. What a smart crowd. All right, this is good. I also noticed it's mostly the front half of this crowd that is on my side. Back half, I don't know if you can see me or maybe I can't see you. In either case, the best community, no doubt. We have people like Muse and Alberto and Will and so many others, Ezgi's here and so on. We have not only is it a giant community, we have 450,000 staking wallets to the Jupiter DAO, but it is also an incredibly energetic community. We did this thing called Castamble a few months ago. I think some people were here. Yeah, I see some thumbs up. People enjoyed that. Burned a giant cat. It was 25 feet tall. It was like something out of Willy Wonka's nightmares. It was a lot of fun. 1,600 people showed up in person from as far as like literally from Chile to China, Canada to Australia. All 4 kind of corners of the globe converged here in Istanbul because that's what a real community looks like. This is not just like, we have a lot of followers on Twitter, or we have a lot of bots or whatever else that a lot of people have. There's not many teams that could bring 1,600 people a day to an IRL conference, right? Shout out to the Solana floor and the Step team. We're obviously doing something very similar. There's a small class of people who have this kind of ability to have this community so strong. And we have a bunch of regional communities as well. We have more than a dozen of them all around the world, in India and in the US and in places all over, in Poland and in Turkey as well. So the community is what gives us the energy to kind of push this forward, right? If you're making great things and no one knows about it, one option is to do paid marketing. We don't do any of that. The other option is instead to actually have people who really care about your products and believe in the vision of where you're going and are able to evangelize it on your behalf. And that Jupiter has in spades, and we're very grateful and lucky to have that. So best products, best community, and then the last one is the most biased of all, but I do think we have the best team, right? What is underappreciated about the Jupiter team, 80% of the team, actually it's like 85% if I'm being honest, are engineers, right? So it's a very heavy engineering culture. There are no marketing people at Jupiter. I'm the closest thing to a marketing person, and I don't know if I can swear from here. I know very little about marketing, but it's all about building the best products, right? It goes back to that. There are more than 15 former founders and CEOs at Jupiter, right? This is big founder energy that drives the company. The company only has like 85 to 90 people in it. So you have a pretty substantial percentage of them are founders. Like that's the engineering kind of percentage at a lot of companies. That's our founder percentage at Jupiter. And the hustle is infinite, right? We are shipping every single day, every single week. The number one complaint I get, funny enough, from some of our larger holders of Jupe, is that we make too many announcements and they can't keep up with it all and it's like hard for them to digest. And I will tell you that is a very good problem to have because it is the opposite problem that 99% of teams have. So the hustle is unmatched. We keep pushing forward at all times. And together, this kind of trifecta of the best products with the best community and the best team is how you actually build a super app that can onboard the next billion people. That is, I think, a cliche that a lot of people have been saying for a while, like, oh, we can't wait to get the next billion people on chain. We genuinely believe it, and we genuinely believe that we can be a critical part of that infrastructure to make that happen if we're able to drive so much value through simplicity and through trust using the Jupiter Super App. That is where we are going. So DEX aggregator, yes, always important, but the Super App is the present and future of the company, and quite honestly, the present and future of crypto as a whole. You're going to see more people trying to embark on this strategy. It's harder for them if they don't have the best products, the best community, and the best team, is what I would say. So I would also say this is only the beginning. A lot of our products right now are around token trading. The alpha is we're going to have a lot of other new products coming in. I can't say too much or Meow will literally strangle me. But we have some things that are going to blow your mind. We'll be announcing some things that accelerate and beyond. The one thing that I can tell you right now that I think is public, even if it's not, I'll tell you anyway. We are going to be integrating NFTs into everything that we do as well, from Jupiter Routing, Jupiter Mobile, and other places, not just for art and for culture's sake, but also from an RWA perspective, right? I think Baxis is here somewhere, right? Wine, whiskey, watches, shoes, real estate, all of these are coming on chain in the form of NFTs, and all of those are also going to be integrated into Jupiter, furthering that super app vision. The last thing I have to say to you all, and I have to do this, otherwise Vibhu and Aaron would kill me, is that you really should just use Jupiter, particularly on mobile. I really cannot stress how good Jupiter Mobile is. If you see Jupiter Mobile here, you can see all of your token values and your position values versus some other wallets where you cannot. So if you haven't already, please download Jupiter Mobile, iOS and Android supported right now. It is fully free, 10x cheaper than everything else, and it is just the best. You'll get smart alerts over from Dialect coming in very soon as well. I'll let people scan this, and then I will say, thank you very much for having me, Crossroads. I'll see you all very soon. Cheers.